Thank you for tuning into the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. You could call me whatever you like as long as it's not Oi. We'll probably get along. We're back. Now, we'll do some housekeeping. Don't worry about the trim. Don't worry about why I've been gone for 4 years and I come back with no trim. We don't need you worrying about that. There's bigger things for us to be worrying about. But yeah, now it's good to be back. Thank you to everyone that's shown me love so far with the wait, let me take these off because I'm not actually listening to anything at the moment. But yeah, thank you to everyone that's been I got tiny ears. Thank you to everyone that's been showing me love so far. The anticipation for the return of the Faceless podcast has been immense. Um, look, I'll be honest. I'm trying to hold myself accountable. I'm trying to be accountable here. Like I should have recorded this last week. Now, life happens. Life gets in the way. So we're here today. But we're back. I'm happy. I'm excited. Now let's see how long we'll be back for because with how things have been going, no doubt I'm due to get cancelled ASAP. Now, for those of you, if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Shepherd, Faceless Podcast. Now, the whole idea behind the podcast is your mind matters. Now, there's if you was to go back to some of my old stuff, that I put out 4 years ago, what I was seeing is people have delegated thought. So people don't think for themselves anymore. People don't know what they believe anymore. People will say, "Oh, I like that person. What does that person think?" I think the same thing. So where we've come to delegate thought in my head, I'm like, no, we can't continue to move like that. And what I am very, very, very happy though, very happy for though, that I've seen over the past 4 years or so is there has been a lot more conversations. People are not scared anymore. People are not saying, well, I believe this, like, but in secret shops, don't tell no one that I'm really. Don't get me wrong, I still get a lot of them. I still get a lot of people in the Instagram DMs and that are saying, like, I agree with you, but don't tell no one that I agree with you because I don't want to lose my job. So, but I have seen there has been more conversations. People seem to be a lot more confident. People are upset with what's been happening, and we're going to touch on some of that. So, just as a quick, allow me to reintroduce myself moment. Now, I'm saying this the day after Anthony Joshua was in the recovery position. Yeah. And that was the song he came out. That's the song he came out to. So I'm hoping this is not me putting myself in the recovery position. Before we go into Boatsy one though, that's my guy, that's my dog. So congratulations, interim light heavyweight champion. We thank God. Long may it continue. Now into the business. Now where have I been for the past 4 years? So I'm not going to give you a breakdown of year by year, but the long and the short of it is, I weren't happy with the I guess you could say the quality of the content. I'm gonna be brutally honest here. I think I started to chase the views a little bit. Now I was always myself with every recording that I did. Like I was always myself. I didn't think I was trying to pretend to be someone that I'm not. But it is addictive. Like you see one, and it wasn't even a lot. That's the thing. It wasn't even a lot of views. It's not even like I was doing millions of views. Like one of them hit like 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, like Uma Johnson, you might be the little money maker here. Even though I've always said to myself, I'm not doing this to make money from it. Like if now, don't get me wrong, I do want to make money from it because like I was telling my guy Jay the other day, this is plan 1A I. So there's a big plan as to the Faceless podcast as to where we're going, as to what I've got planned, what I want to do with it all. However, no, actually, so that needs money. So that there's no going away from that. That needs money. Even for me to be running this, it needs money. They're not doing this for free. Like you see that background, it needs to be ironed. That takes money. Like it's not gonna iron itself. I've got so for everyone that's told me my background needs to be ironed, I hear you. Now, let me just explain it. Now, as you could tell, I'm not a millionaire. So I don't have a whole room set up, which is my studio, which means that I'm having to multi-purpose the rooms, which means the background goes up, but it also needs to come down, which means it needs to get folded, which means it's going to be creased. Now, let's just thank God we got a background because I don't think you lots really want to see what's behind here. I don't think you lots really want to sit. But this room is hot. I can't even put the fan on because the sweat in my forehead. It's a bit long, but anyway. Yeah, what was I saying? So we need money, basically. So I do want to make money off it. There's some ideas that I have that will come out in due course. I want to get some merch out there and more just to kind of spread the word. I want as many people to see this as possible, obviously. However, if it's just one person, just calm. As long as someone says, you know what, Sheps, I think slightly differently, and you had a part to play with that, I'm okay. I'm happy with that. Now, the plans that I have in terms of moving forward, they all need capital. They will all need some sort of funding. So if you lots want to share, like, subscribe, I'll put the link or my link tree. It's on my Twitter, it's on my Instagram, it's everywhere. And there's a locals page on there as well. You can start to subscribe. You can start to donate a little donate. Like we need a trim. Like the magician doesn't work for free, so it needs his pound coins, his pound knots, because he's got a family to feed. But um, so yeah, going back to I digress a lot. So that's what it is. Yeah. So what happened? So I'd say I've had this idea for the Faceless Podcast since 2016. Took some time to get into it. 2020 pandemic started, and then on the face of that, I think what happened is I always saw this platform as me having conversations with other people. Now, because I haven't got the studio, that I can have a setup where I've got 4 or 5 people and we're discussing politics and we're discussing all the lovely things we want to talk about. Because I haven't got that setup, it then became me just monologuing and venting and ranting, which is not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't what I wanted to do at the time. Now, I've since been to the mountains and done some thinking, done some praying. Everybody pray for me because we all know we need it. But yeah, so I've since been to the mountains, done some praying, and I will still get there. I will still get to that point where we're having guests. Like I've been looking at softwares where even if it's not in person, it still is better than just doing a Zoom and trying to clip it or whatever it's technology is developed. And that's where we are. Um so I will get to that point. However, what I have noticed is, and this big, why would you want to interrupt my broadcast like that, big man? Like this whole day, there's been no fly in my room, and then to now there wants to be a fly in my room, and I can't even shut the windows because it's hot. The things we have to deal with. Guys, you need to subscribe, like, share, subscribe because we can't be living with this. But don't worry though, we're not gonna show you the brand, but you know we've got the, you know, we've got we've got the artillery. We're ready. We're ready. Next time he shows it might not be secure. I don't even know if we can show this on YouTube. But back on track. So I will get to that point. We're gonna have guests. There was all these things will get released as we go along. But firstly, I just want to be consistent. Just want to be talking to everyone. Just sharing my thoughts on things. Please do get involved in the comments. You don't have to like what I say. You can have a different thoughts, different opinions. But just know why. Like when I ask you, why do you think that? Now I can still think you're wrong. Like I can still think you've missed the plot. But at least I respect the fact that these are your own individual thoughts. That you, as a person, you've said this is what I think. So that's just I guess an overview. Where was I? I felt like I love it. I got annoyed because it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I got annoyed with the quality. I got annoyed. It was taking me ages for me to do everything. Now should I have persevered? Yes, I should have persevered. However, I'm back now, so we'll get into the actual topics themselves that I want to talk about now. So a lot's gone on. A lot has gone on since episode 30. The last where I left it was it Joe Biden? Yeah. Yeah, this is where I left it. Wait, let me see. Look, I'm learning new technology as well. I'm learning new technology as well. Um, wait, what am I doing here? I don't even know what I'm doing. Don't even listen to me. Let me not even touch anything because yeah, let me not even touch anything. Yeah, yeah. I tried to do smooth transition. Yeah, the smooth transition was not smooth transitioning. So let's see. What have I just done there? Alright, cool. I don't know what I've just done, but it's recording. Don't worry about that. We're gonna figure that out in the cut. We don't even want to do none of that. We don't even want to. I was gonna show you the page anyway. I'll figure it out as we go along. But yeah, what was my last post 3 years ago? It's only got 139 views. But to be fair, 3 years ago, I don't care. It was about Joe Biden, greatest president of all time. As we know, that was the fairest election. Now we're coming back to election time. Which is absolutely hilarious because a lot of the similar things are starting to happen again. So that was my last post. That's where I left it. A lot has happened since then. The rest of COVID has happened since then. Crazy stuff has happened since then. I'm not going to recap all of that. Um, but what I will get into is some things that I've noticed. I thought that I need to get a few things off my chest. Now, before I get the things off my chest, now what's in the short term, what am I going to be looking to do? So in the short term, I noticed there's some great channels out there like Lotus Eaters. I don't always agree with everything that they say. I don't even agree with their tone a lot of the times, and especially when they talk about like black people and stuff and Africa and stuff. Like these lots praise Cecil Rhodes, and obviously being from Zimbabwe, I'm not a fan of Cecil Rhodes. So like the tonality, I'm not the biggest fan of sometimes. However, they've got some great content on there. If you want to talk about UK politics 101, know what's going on, they're a great place to go. You've got some American stuff, Louder of Crowder. You've got Tim Costa ARL. You've got I haven't watched Daily Wire in a while. Let me be honest, but they're there. Like you've even got Trigonometry. That there's a lot of political podcasts. There's a lot of things that are out there that are very good and I think people should be listening to. Now, what I've noticed, the gap in the market that I've noticed, I say gap in the market, I don't mean to even speak like that because this is not even like a business thing. This is not like oh yeah, I noticed this gap in the market. What it is I noticed that there is a barrier to entry between there's a gap that exists between your lotus eaters and the average person who hasn't got time to listen to as much politics because maybe their work just doesn't allow them to. Now, what I want to do is effectively start talking about these topics in a way because I'm a common man. I'm everyday man. You see me everyday man. Now, I want to start talking about these things and hopefully break down some of these concepts. So when you then go hear them speak, it's not going over your head. You're not thinking, oh, because I was speaking to my friends about this the other day, where I've been tuning into politics religiously since 2016. Um, there's some concepts that I can just get. I could just get the concept because I've since 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I've been each day, 4 hours, updating myself. Which means it makes it a lot easier for me to be able to catch on to what's happening today. Now, I'm not any smarter than anyone else. Not smarter than anyone else, but I've just put in the hard yards. Now, what I've noticed a lot now, what else is going on here? What else? This is not Noah's Ark. I don't know, yo. You have to go, big man. Big man, you have to go. Cause yeah, for Peter, for anyone on YouTube, this is just other toilet. Yeah, you had to go. You had to go because that was I don't know what that was. I need to shut these windows. I might need to shut these windows because they keep on coming with their friends, and I don't need no company. Is that the friends I can hear? Sorry, guys. I got distracted. But we're live in the cut. We're live in the cut. That was sent by Keir Starmer. That Daddy Longlegs. That voted Labour. We're gonna go into that one. We are gonna go into that one. What was I talking about? I completely got sidetracked. Now, I am just going to apologize about how I'm speaking in this one. I don't care, to be fair. I'm not going to be succinct. I'm just going to be speaking because this is episode one. I'm excited to be back. I've got a lot of things on my mind that I want to get through, so I'm going to be going on a tangent from time to time, guys. Just bear with me. Now, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so effectively, what I want to do is break down these concepts so that not so that you come to me for everything. Like I'm not an expert, but I want to break down these concepts so that you can then go to your lotus eaters, go to your ladder of crowders, go to your trigonometries, and be able to engage at that level as well. So that's going to be the aim. Now, how well I do that, that's up to you guys to decide. The other thing as well, please, 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 anything that's esoteric, anything that you're thinking, I think Shepherd could break this down and explain it to me in a way that I could understand, send it to me, DMs, email, comments on YouTube, whatever you've got, however you know how to get a hold of me, just speak to me on there. And then I'm not promising I'm going to get to everything. I do think, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, there's going to be nothing to begin with because no one's going to message me. Like it's not like that violin thing. It's just what it is. No one knows who I am. So, but with the Faceless podcast and the network we're going to build, that door is always open. So, um, that is that. I've covered where I've been. I'm alive and I'm breathing. That's important. We thank God. And I've covered this is what I want to do. So this is the plan to begin with. Let's just talk about these things. Now, heading into it, let me take these glasses off. I need to wipe my forehead. This time I'm gonna use napkin because there's been a lot. There's been a lot, guys. There's been a lot that's been going on. There has been a lot that's been going on. Where should we start? Let me see. Let me see. I wrote so this is how much there was that I wrote. Okay, cool. So let's start with America because, as we know, that election impacts and affects a lot of people, the whole world. Because Black City, our parents or grandparents were silly. We done the whole changed it from the gold standard to the America back in the world currency. Now we're going to talk about BRICS on another day. I don't even have time to go into that today. But Trump, the people want Trump. The establishment wants. They don't even want Harris. How about that? How about that as the actual truth of the situation? They don't even want Harris, but in their heads they're like, that's better than Trump. So we're gonna have to deal with what we're dealing with. Now Trump has has had technically three assassination attempts, but the first one wasn't called an assassination attempt because the police or Secret Service got to the geezer before he tried to reach for a police officer's gun or something, then he got caught. The second, well, first official one was crazy. That was crazy. Do you know what I rate? What I rate about him, he got shot, burst in his ear, he stood up and he's put his fist up and he's gone fight. Now, I was actually having this conversation with my friends the other day and they were saying they think it was staged because of that. Now, I've looked into it. I think Tim Cost IRL do a very good breakdown of this. Dan Bongino, Bongino, he does a very good breakdown of this as well. Um, Louder of Crowder did a very good breakdown on what was happening. So you let's go and see that and get the full information. If you just type in Trump assassination, Tim Costello, whatever, it will come up. Now, from watching those people who are in America, they've got the links, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing. Um, my conclusion on that is I don't think it was staged. I don't think it was Trump trying to prove anything. Because he didn't need to. He's already winning. He was already winning, and like, okay, so we're gonna split up into two things. So we're gonna split up as in what's going on with Trump, as in what America's saying, like what the people on the ground are saying, and then we're gonna talk about the establishment and what will actually happen if it's not in that if there's no interception or no one does anything to intercede. So from what I'm seeing, like ears to the ground, finger on the pulse. The people, the public of America, the vast majority of them said, you know what, Biden, things are better under Trump. We're going to vote for him this time round. Kamala Harris, Kamala, I don't know how to pronounce it. We don't even know why you're here. Biden, we're happy you're still alive, but you're hanging on. So Trump needs to be the person. That's what the ground is saying. The establishment, the media, mainstream media will tell you whatever they want to tell you. They're gonna tell you, "Oh, Trump's a convicted felon," but they won't tell you what. They won't tell you that the judge has told the jury. Any word I mispronounce, put the correction in the comments because I wasn't born in England. English is my second language. Now I can't speak either language well. It is what it is. Now the judge is telling the jury, he's saying, you don't even have to agree that he broke this law or this is the crime he committed. As long as you think there was some crime somewhere that might have been committed, maybe when you're sleeping, maybe in your dreams, we're going to convict Trump. So the mainstream media just is not telling you that. They're not telling you that they're actually convicted him on anything at anything. It's the best way that I can describe it. Like it's literally yeah, cool, I guess. So they're trying to demonize Trump as they have been for the past 6 years. And I genuinely do think to get people that are so brave as to say, I'm actually gonna risk my life to go shoot this person, um, that is because of how the Democrats have been talking about him. Now, so he's had the first assassination attempt. They tried to memory hold that so quick. This is, you see what I'm trying to tell you now, yeah, people. What I'm trying to get through to you is you need to be asking yourself these questions. Like, do you think if Keir Starmer was shot at today, or if that was Biden, that would not be front page news? We wouldn't be having marches in Africa to catch the Biden shooter. Like, we wouldn't be having it in Zimbabwe in one village, and that there'll be someone like scooping up water with a Kamala Harris top saying Biden Harris because he got shot in his little toe. Like, but the media, like, this is what I need you lot to start questioning. Why is it that the media tried to make you forget about this in 2 seconds? Question number one. Why is it that the media tried to get you to forget about this in 2 seconds? Because this is a former president of the United States of America, the current front runner in the Olympics. Don't know what I was talking about there. In the in the election, the current front runner, according to some polls, it depends on what who you view and what you think. And he is he's got like the public sway. So not only do the Democrats look at him as the biggest like political threat in terms of he can actually win this, the public are on his side. Um, But the mainstream media tried to make you forget about this in 2 seconds flat. You need to start questioning that. You need to actually start instead of you thinking, because you see all of this, oh, it was a setup, oh, he put ketchup. Like, can't let's be adults. Let's be adults for 10 seconds. Do you think the guy fell over, put ketchup on his ear? Why would it be his ear? Why would he not do his eye? Why would he not do his heart? Why would you stop at your ear? Like he's got ear piercing. This is what you want to believe. That the guy fell over and put ketchup on his ear. It was all a setup. Now, this is what I'd implore you to do. Go have a look at what Tim Castle's breakdown. Go have IRL's breakdown. Go have a look at Louder Crowder's breakdown. Go have a look at Dan Bongino's breakdown. Go have like they actually talk you through and go, here is where the mistakes were made. Da, 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 da. Now, what I do think is it was planned incompetence. This is my personal opinion. This is what I think from reviewing the data. I think it was planned incompetence. It was someone said, "Oh, mate, that roof over there, that has got a direct line to the president, so we should have someone there." And someone going, "Don't worry about it. It's a bit sloped. It's fine." And then the people, the rally goers, are saying, "Yo, there's a guy with a rangefinder just walking around there," and then it's probably a police officer's got it to someone. The other person's gonna, "Don't worry about that. It's cool." Like I think they let it happen. When I say they, I'm talking about the Secret Service because it is still run by the Biden administration. So I think they let it happen, but I don't think it's this conspiracy of like Biden sat down in a room with Kamala Harris and like Lord knows what their conversations sound like. But they were going back and forth on how do we take him out. I don't think it was that. I also don't think it was Trump going, "Oh, I know what's going to get me more votes is I'm going to get shot in the air because why would I risk my life like that?" Um, so I don't think. Wait, let me see which razor is it. The path that makes the least assumptions. I think it's Hannah's razor. Um, you see when you got a new keyboard, you can't even type. So that is Occam. Occam is that how you pronounce it? So it's no Occam's razor. The path that yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's the path that makes the least assumptions is probably correct. So, or it's probably the closest to the truth. So I would say if you're thinking about this Trump situation, which path makes the least assumptions? Which path actually makes the most sense? Now, we'll be talking about other things to do with Trump next week or the week after or the week after that. I just wanted to touch on that assassination attempt just to, and then okay, then he had another one the other day. Now he didn't actually get shot in this one. It was the Secret Service actually did do their jobs, but that's two. Hmm, that's two within 6 weeks. They want to get him out of here. Somebody wants to get him out of here. And we won't even talk about how both shooters, one was in a BlackRock advert, one was in a Azov Battalion advert. Hmm. The conspiracy is conspiracying. Now, yeah, I'm never gonna talk too much on that. I'm never gonna talk too much on that because I like my life. Actually, it's not even because of that. It's because I just wanted to bring that up to your attention. The fact that why is the media memory hole in this? Like, why is the media trying to make it seem like nothing happened? That's my question. That is my question. And I'm gonna leave it there. So whatever you think happened, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think happened. And what else has been going on? So, let me tell. I don't even have sweat on my forehead. I just want to swipe this for comedic effect now because actually I put more sweat on my forehead doing that. Guys, what did we do? What did we do? So, for those of you who don't know, I live in the UK. I live in London, South London to be exact. Um, Now, we had a general election recently, and the people voted for Labour. The people vote. Has he come back with his virgins or? Because I can't even take this anymore. Don't worry about it. It's behind. It's behind. It's all going on behind. I think there's beef between these people that is going on behind. Um, but we can hear it though. That's what's gonna drive me crazy. I just see it. Don't worry. We've got the mm, that Jay Hassan who told you bad man don't dance. Yeah, they're gonna be dancing. But anyway. So we had an election. People voted for Labour. Now, don't look. Let me break it down. Like the Tories, the Conservatives, deserved to lose because for the past 14 years they've run this country into the ground. But not for Labour, though. Not for Keir Starmer. Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. If you go to his origins, like I didn't like you can't trust the geezer as far as you can throw him. Like, let's be honest, let's be realistic about this situation. You can't trust this guy as far as you can throw him. And but what I do know is a lot of people voted for Labour because in their heads they only know Conservatives or Labour. Some people know Lib Dems, but we all I think all of us, even the Lib Dems, we can all agree that's a joke. That's not to be taken serious. We can all agree on that. That's not it. Yeah, let's agree. That's a joke. I don't even know why they're there. Same, we'll put them with Green Party and them man there. We're gonna talk about Green Party one day, man, because what they've been doing. Um, so people voted for against the Tories for Labour. Sometimes I say better the devil, you know. I wanted the Tories to lose. Let me not lie to you. And look, for full transparency, and I'm expecting to get slaughtered for this because I actually thought about this. I actually did think about this. Sorry, let me deal with this Reginald real quick. Hey, get out of here. Hey, you thought you'd survive. You thought wrong. You thought wrong. Yeah. You thought you'd survive. But for full transparency, so I actually thought about this. Do you know what it is? I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own who I voted for. I'm just gonna own it because people are gonna call me whatever they want to call me, but people been calling me that anyway, so it's calm. I voted for Mr. Farage, a Reform Party. Now let me explain. I don't even need to explain myself, but let me explain my reasoning as to why I did it. Number one, now I think about it. It was a protest because I was like, no, I'm not voting for the Tories because they've let me down basically for 14 years. Now my life is harder. I'm having to do a podcast with an unironed background because the Tories have made my life very hard. Labour, yo, I'll cry. I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry real tears. I already knew from Tony Blair, like, because you know this? You come to this country as an immigrant and you get told Labour is the for you, da, 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 but people don't really know what these lots have done to the country. And now I'm not an illegal. Well, I say now I'm not an illegal. I've never been an illegal immigrant. But now I've grown up here, so I'm not British. I'm Zimbabwean, and I'm British. I'm both. Like, it's calm. So now, like, you see, when you start working and the tax man knows your name and all them things, and you're looking at your pay and you're going, wait, so why you taking this much? I understand that we need to pay for certain things, but this much? And then you see someone do rubber dinghy rapids from Calais, and then man get put in 4-star hotel where I don't even have enough points to stay in that hotel. I don't even have enough miles at points to stay in that hotel. And then you see the video. Let me tell you the video that got me crazy. No way. Hey, big man, don't why you coming? Like, I thought we was finished. How are you gonna come try to pass away right in front of me by my keyboard? It don't make sense. Go do that in peace. R.I.P. Yeah, so I can't even afford like the points to stay in these hotels, but someone's done Robert Ding rabbits across Calais, risked their family's life, paid someone else a lot of money, and they get to eat the tax money. So all of that stuff has been happening. Don't get me wrong, the Tories they was doing it as well, but Labour, this is their life and breath. This is what they do. This is bread and butter. So I said, you know what? And I looked into Keir Starmer a little bit, and I was like, you know what? This ain't making too much sense. It's not making too much dollars. So it's not for me. And I was looking at some of the policies. I was looking at what he's looking to do. I'm like, yo, Labour can't win. But what my fellow British citizens did is they've just gone on violence, hate, immediate hate. They've just gone. Well, number one, Farage has been called a racist. Now, my personal opinion is he's not a racist because if I genuinely thought he was a racist, I would not have voted for him. Now, do I think he's the savior? No, I don't think he's the savior. He's still a politician. You can still only trust him as far as you can throw him. But at least I know who he is as far as you can throw him. At least I can be like, okay, cool. This is what he will do now. I don't think he will deliver on everything. And especially with what's been going on recently, Keir Starmer's set him up basically to take more people, but he's not really taking the opportunity, which is making me start to question that. How is he really in this for the people, or is this just a good hobby? Like, he's finished with I'm a Celebrity, now he's thinking, what else can I do to get some screen time? Now, going back to explaining my vote, it was a protest vote. I didn't want Labour to win. I didn't want the Tories to win. And then the second reason was, um, what I've just said basically, which is I know Farage, like this is what he's going to do, and I think I'd have been better off in a reform government than I will be in a Labour government. Now, Keir Starmer, we voted him in, we've put him in. Day four, there's already problems from day four. Maybe day half an hour. There's already problems. Now, for those of you who okay, so so this is what I want to do. So you see, I think there's been a big miscommunication because there's the people that know politics that are in the political world, and their understanding of those riots we had is different to the understanding of the day-to-day person who puts on Sky News, BBC News, ITV News, whatever local news outlet, and they got told what to think. So I want to spend 2-3 minutes just breaking that down quickly so that you can see where I'm going with this Keir Starmer thing. So basically, what's been happening in Britain for a number of years now is people believe that there is a two-tier justice system. Now, these people is not just white people, it's not just black people. It is a hierarchy thing. It's do you belong to the leftist way of thinking? Do you believe that there's 172 genders? Do you believe that Jesus Christ was a fan of the LGBTQIAAP to the swear power community? So are you on the left? If you're on the left, you can say whatever you want. You can even beat people up. You get let go. They'll donate money to let you go. BLM, we saw it happening. But by the way, on a digression note, on a sidetrack, You see the people that was in my, let me do this. You see the people that was in my DMs telling me that I'm not black because I didn't support Black Lives Matter, the movement. You see the people that were in my DMs telling me that I've got self-hatred. I hate myself because I didn't support Black Lives Matter, the movement. You see the people that were in my DMs telling me that my ancestors are rolling in their grave. Actually, no one ever actually said that. That was just funny though. I thought that would have been funny. But you see the people that were telling me that as a black person, I should not be thinking like that, which I've heard on more than one occasion when BLM was happening. You see the people that were saying we need to stick together as I don't know, as a what? You see those people there? Talk to me now. Come and talk to me now about BLM. Because I don't actually know a single black person now who supports the movement. You man got bumped by Patrice Colours. You lot sworn and toppled statues. You lot risked your liberty. You're just lucky you're on the right side. So I guess technically it wasn't a risk. What's happening with BLM? Alright, I'm gonna put a challenge in the comments. How many black causes did you not help with BLM? The movement. All that money you're donating, that writing. What did you help? But when I was trying to show, and this is not even an I told you so thing, like, but when I was looking at the time, I'm like, yo, like we're just being scammed. This is what people do. Like people know black people are emotional. Like some black people are emotional, so they get us emotional, and then they just get us acting wild, acting like they're pets. Like get you emotional, then just now you're destroying your own city. Now it's not just black people; it works on a lot of people because we're humans. Now so we've reversed. We're now back on track. For a number of years, the typical British person feels like they're a second class citizen. The person who, and you don't have to be a radical. This is not even people that are thinking crazy stuff. This is just your typical person, like your typical person that thinks the nucleus family is a thing, the typical person that thinks there are only two genders, the typical person that believes in heteronormativity. Is that even a word? If it isn't, I've made it up. The typical person who believes in free market enterprise, the typical person who believes you should eat what you work for, like the typical person that believes if you own a house it should have a door and a lock on it, i.e. borders. That typical person there, which is the average British, this is not a radical thing. That typical person has now been told you're racist. And it don't even matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. You could be black, white, Asian, you could be maroon, you could be burgundy, you could be whatever color. Like if you do not agree with what the left, the narrative, this trusted news initiative, what they're telling you that is the right thing to think, you're getting treated like a second class citizen. Now, fast forward, this has been happening over years and years and years. Like we can look back at COVID. The politicians were telling you lockdown rules of six. You need to hug your parents through cling film. You need to go get the jab. Oh, hey, yo, do you see the jab? Let's talk about that for a second. You see, there's one person, I wish I remembered their act, who was in my DMs, was arguing for days on end about the jab, about how I'm a conspiracy theorist, about how I want to kill grandma. And people are looking at me in my eye, telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I've not read the technology, like I've not read the journals, the papers on how the mRNA technology worked. Someone who actually worked. I hope this person sees this. Well, where are you now? Where are you now? Because yo, I need to get permission for this story before I release it. Anyway, that was enough. No, it's been 4 years, so I've got a lot that I've been seeing that I tried to call, and people were looking at me like I'm crazy, and now I'm still crazy. Like, so yeah, we'll go back to it. So yeah, so COVID, the jab, the lockdowns, stealing people's wealth, all of this stuff happened. Like, and then now you've got people who are poorer than they've been. People are finding it hard, like your money's not stretching nowhere near what it used to be able to stretch. Like your money can't even stretch no more. It's not even elastic. Like you get You literally get paid for this for the average person. Some people earn very well, and I hope some of the people listening to this earn very well. That, but for me, I'm telling you, Joe Bloggs, average person, I said payday is my favorite and my worst day because payday you get paid and you see that money ping hit your account, and then you just see it just go back out again on the same day. Now you're thinking, yep, 29 days till the next pay. So this is what people are living in the UK now. Like it's not all flowers and roses. It's not all sugar and honey. Like that, there's people that are struggling, and those people that are not racist. I know a lot of these people. Like they're not racist. They're not. Like they'll give you the shot off their own back. Now these people, because they're thinking, look, government. Since I've been paying taxes for the past however long, since I was born here, since I'm historically from this country, since my ethnicity goes back to whenever the Vikings um and the Saxons and all that look after me before you go take someone from somewhere else and try to look after them. If you think like that, you're now technically a racist. If you think a man can't be a woman, you're now technically a racist. I'm just gonna everything's not racism. They might call it something slightly different, but everything is technically like you're just on the path. You're just a slightly different colored racist, is basically what they're trying to tell people. So this has been happening in the UK for a while now. And then something happens in Stockport up north. Up north. I say something, I'm not trying to denigrate it. There was people lost their lives, children lost their lives. And I think the people just had enough. But what the media is trying to spin, they're trying to spin this on this. Oh, this is the racist, the far right has come out in full force as if Britain's got the majority of the population's racist. It's not. Like anyone who tells you the majority of Britain's racist, they're either lying to you or I don't know what's going on. If we're actually gonna be really honest, that if you speak to any ethnic minority now, don't I'm not saying they're not racist people in Britain. They are. Like in every country. There are racist people in Britain. But that is not the majority of the people that you come across in your day-to-day life. Some people are going to suffer from racism because there are racist people. What do racist people do? Racist things. But that is not the majority. Me personally, I can speak for myself. In the UK, I've lived there since 2001. I've never personally experienced a single ounce of racism in this country. If I haven't, I don't know about it, then I don't know. It was hidden. But I have to say that because I can't be taking on someone else's experience. Now, I'm not saying no one suffered racism, and there have been people that suffered racism and all of that. It's all good. It's not all good, but you get what I'm saying. But the media is trying to paint it out like anyone who disagrees with the left, who's not conforming, who's not much lockstep, much left, right, left, is a racist. And people have had enough. That people have legitimately had enough. And then on top of that, you vote in this Keir Starmer. I don't even know. And what he's then done, now listen to this. Listen to this now. So the people now, let me put this disclaimer. I think rioting is incredibly stupid. Destroying your own, it's like if me and my neighbor have an argument, so I decide to destroy my own kitchen. That is incredibly stupid. There's no two ways about it. I don't think violence is the answer. It's going to get you what you want to get to. So all the people that were rioting, destroying property, hurting other people, yeah, look them up. I ain't got a problem with that. Send them to prison. Send them to prison. They committed a crime. Send them to prison. Now, now we've got that disclaimer out of the way, which I think is silly. The fact that I even have to put that there because that should be implied. Like you could tell by my morals, my values. I'm a Christian man. That, like, cool. It's implied. Like I'm not condoning that type of behavior. Let's talk about the sentiment behind what's riled people up to get to there. So these people have seen us, they're getting upset. Now, the media has called every single one of them racist. Even people you put in stuff on Facebook, if you say whatever you say, yeah, people are going to prison. There's a 53-year-old lady who got 15 months in prison for a Facebook post. So this is Keir Starmer's doing now. He's Yvette Cooper, is that her name? He's empowered her. Then I remember there was the 2 weeks that people were scared. Like, let me even not breathe at my phone because if my breath like spells out something on Facebook and they think Yeah, I might get 15 months in prison. So all of this is happening now. People get frustrated. People get frustrated. But should I tell you what's making people even more frustrated? So not only are they poorer than they've ever been, not only is it harder for the youth. I'm still technically a youth, even though, well, I have to be a youth now because it's Dharma, innit? Even though I'm 31, I'm living like a youth. I ain't got a property because if their policy. No, not just because of that. I've made some bad financial decisions in my life. I'll fully take accountability for that. We've had a lot of fun in the process. Anyway, um, it's harder for the youth to get on the property ladder. It is harder to just even keep some of your money that you're working for. You're having to work longer and harder, and your money's not even stretching as far. So not only are people going through that, people for being frustrated because they're going through that are now being called racist. Um, so not only that, and then when you do get frustrated, you post to your friendship network on Facebook. Now, some of the things is not tasteful. Don't ask for people to go get killed. Now, that's just crazy. Incitement to violence is illegal. That's don't do that. But just saying your opinion, and now you get 15 months in prison. So people are riled up because of that. On top of that, the other side now, the side that's thinking on the right path, that's thinking the way they want you to think, they can say whatever they like. We literally had what's his name? Me. I need to bring him to the forefront. Is a Labour MP. What's his name? Something Jones. Nah. What was his name? If your surname's Jones, uh, he's wait. So there's this Labour MP. Nice. Oh, but there's quite a few. No, it wasn't Tahir Ali. It was. Nah. I'll find it at some point and then share it with you. But yeah, but there's this Labour MP. Let me see if I can find it on the thing. Let's see if I can find it. Follow me on thing. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Nah, it wasn't him. I'm gonna have to ignore it, but I'll come back to it at some point. I'll come back to it at some point in the future. So basically, this Labour MP, you see what I'm telling you? Active, live vote in the fresh, live vote in the flesh. His yeah, live vote in the flesh. He has gone and said we need to get these people. Da, da, da. He said he's literally said, and I quote. This is a quote: "We need to slit their throats." That's what he said. Now, this geezer has got arrested. I thought, oh, okay, cool. He's got arrested. Surely he's going to be getting 2, 3 years if we're doing it on a barometer. We're comparing what people are getting for doing certain things. He's going to be getting 2, 3 years. Like, cool. Keir Starmer's going to do that to show that he's fair. He's operating evenly with everyone. What happens? The geezer gets what, a month. Um, his court date gets put a month. Remember, some people 2 days they were going to prison. So this is when when we're talking about the two, and then he pleaded innocent as well, and I think he's been found not guilty, even though he's on camera. Like he's actually on camera saying these things. Like so, people are frustrated with that. On top of that, Keir Starmer is now freebies king. How is he saying? Um, he's an Arsenal fan. Yeah, you see, if I was an Arsenal fan and Keir Starmer was an Arsenal fan, I'll support another team. I won't even lie to, or I'll just start following football, or I'll never like announce it publicly because if that's the caliber of people, me, I support Liverpool. I'm happy not support Liverpool because I don't think I can leave them still. But how is he saying, oh, for public security safety or for security reasons, I have to stay in a box. So Arsenal have given him a box. These times he's a season ticket holder, and he used to say, like I want to sit with the people. No, you just want freebies. So not only, so let's do a quick recap because I want to move on from the story because I was just trying to break it down why people are frustrated with what's going on, which is going to bleed into riots because people are not going to express themselves properly, which is going to bleed into tension, which is going to bleed into it. Won't surprise me um if you see some more racially based violence in the UK within the next year or so, because this is the what's brewing. This is what the culture. This is what we're brewing in the UK, guys. Just to let you know. So if you're visiting, just know this is what we're brewing. Oh, yo, my strap can't even fall like that. You see this? Yeah, you've not heard buzzing in a while. You've not heard buzzing in a while because they've told hide your wife, hide your kids. Yeah. Um. So what's brewing in the UK is a lot of this is starting to bubble. Like I can feel it. Like when you see people that are the most politically correct people you ever come across, and they are starting to say, you know what, Sheps? Mm, you see when we get to that point, it's dangerous. It's because it means it's seeped through. Because sometimes you see when you could get like a stain on your top, but when you try to wipe it off and you see the threads change color, that means it's seeped through to the fabric. That you're gonna need stain removal. You can't just do this. You need stain removal. And the UK, we need to remove the biggest stain at the moment, which is the Labour government. Now, so with two-tier care or three-gear care, or there was another one to do with the grandmas and stuff. I can't remember it. But with the Labour voters, you people that voted them in, the country's got worse. It's not even taking them long. So let's do a recap of why the UK is in the position. So obviously we're starting from way, way back. Thatcher, Tony Blair, all of that stuff. People make mistakes. It's cool. But today, because I'm living in today, I can't tell you about yesterday because I'm living in today. Like, not only have we messed up, like, Sunak was horrible. Oh, we didn't even talk about Sadiq Khan. I'm gonna have to do a whole. That's a different day. I need to do a different day to talk about Sadiq Khan. Because the Lord have mercy on our souls. Now, two-tier care, who used to defend terrorists, by the way, just putting that out there. Um, as a lawyer, that's what he used to do, defend terrorists. Um, so he's come into power. There's been racial divisions have got worse. Um, he's now planning on exit tax because people want to leave the UK because people like rich people are saying, yeah, not with you in charge, big man. I'm taking my money somewhere else. Like people want to leave the UK now. He's talking about putting an exit tax. If you want to leave, you have to pay. Imagine going to a club and they're telling you if you want to leave, you have to pay the more than you paid to come into the club in the first place. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing in 2024? Like September, almost October 2024. What are we doing? Nah, but you know what? I guess we deserve it because this is what you lot voted for. Every single person that voted Labour, thank you very much. This is what you lot voted for. So yeah, Keir Starmer, this is what we're gonna expect from him. He's gonna be a hypocrite. And it's not hypocrisy, it's hierarchy. So he thinks it's okay for him and his people to behave a certain way. When the Tories were in charge, you saw stories upon stories about how they're taking the Michael with some of the freebies and all the expenses and all that stuff. They're doing the exact same thing. If not, they're being more blatant because they don't even care. They don't even care to hide it. So so what's going on in the UK at the moment is Keir Starmer don't really care about you. Let's just be honest. He doesn't. He wants to make. He just wants to make his life comfortable and the people that put him in power their lives comfortable. But when I say put him in power, I'm not talking about the people that voted for him because he doesn't care about you. His friends, the people that are close to him. I might even get arrested for this. It is what it is at this point. Um, it just really doesn't care about you now. What he's going to continue to do is leave the borders open. What he's going to continue to do is allow people to do rubber dinghy rapids from Calais over to the UK. What he's going to allow to happen is people getting arrested for Facebook posts when they're letting out rapists and murderers and people who should have been deported. They're allowing them to remain in the country. What is going to happen is we're going to hear more stories of these people killing and murdering British citizens, and getting away with it. We're going to hear more stories about how certain British women have been targeted as rape victims, and nothing's happening. The people that do it are gonna get away with it as well. This is what we can expect under the Starmer government. Um, to take care. What's going to happen is, you're going to speak up. You're going to post a meme. and you might get arrested for it if it's the wrong type of meme, if you're on the wrong side. So people get frustrated. But now, look, so what I do want to encourage, guys, we need to talk. Like, we need to actually talk instead of being frustrated on your own. Like, talk to the people. Like, talk to the people that are around you. Now, this is not me saying go and organize riots. Don't do that. Explicitly, do not do that. I'm not saying go fight people. Do not do that. I'm not saying um even protests and marches. I'm not even trying to tell you what to do, but sometimes just knowing that, yo, you see, mate, you by my side, he's thinking the same thing. We're going through the same thing. Now, next time when it comes to voting, talk. Let's not just do this secret. Oh yeah, like da, 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 because that's where we lose the power. That's how we get Keir Starmer. Now we've got what 4.5 more years of him. Lord knows what's going to happen in that time. I might not even be here. Like that. I might not even be here. I might have to be on a phone call and doing podcast for myself because I posted a meme that was a bit too offensive. But yeah, so that's Keir Starmer to Tier Keir. I wanted to get that off my chest for a while because it's just been annoying me. Um, Now lastly, this is gonna be really, really quick. I'm never gonna spend that much time on it. So Shxts and Giggs. Now, mother, father, that's not me using a swear word. That is the name of the show. There is no avoiding that. Before I get a conference call from Zimbabwe about why I'm using vulgar language on my podcast as a 31-year-old man. So, as a disclaimer to my parents, that was not me swearing. That is the name of the show. Now, what's happened? I'll give you a brief synopsis. So, they went on Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz, I could sing. You've got Alex Media, you've got Mark on there, Mark Gagnon, which is the most Y surname. What else you got? A few other people on there. Andrew Schultz is hilarious. He is a funny comedian. Now, I was having this conversation with one of my closest friends the other day. She sees things slightly differently, which is fine. Um, if she watches this, you've always got the invite for us to go back and forth and iron it out in front of the people. Um, love her to pieces. Nothing will ever happen now. Friendship will never get ruined over none of these topics because we're adults. We can have conversations and still be friends afterwards, even if we vehemently disagree. Now, so let me point out this. So this is what the media wants you to see. So this racist Andrew Schultz has had James and Fu had on their podcast, and then whilst he's then gone out of his way to disrespect every single black woman that's ever existed, and James and Fu had smiled and laughed and didn't defend black women because they are Superman and Batman and should defend. Um, Black women because black women can't defend themselves. This is what the media want you to think. Now there's been loads of backlash. James and Fu had Batman and Superman in this scenario. They've then put out an apology. Um, and then people are not buying that. So they're going to be fine though, because the podcast is actually it's just funny. Like there's nothing that they do that's controversial. It's just funny. Now you see me, because I wear glasses now, so sometimes I've got a slightly different perspective on things. Here's how I saw it. You've got James and Fuhad, Shits and Gigs, who are doing very well for themselves, considering the content is reacting to stuff and it's just uni chat. It's basically that anyone that's been to uni, just remember how you and your friends were talking throughout that time. That's basically what it is. They've done incredibly well. They've got a big following. I watch some of their stuff. It's just funny. I don't watch it all the time. I couldn't tell you every single episode, but more on the shorts. Like I've rarely watched full podcasts. I'll just see it on the shorts because there'll be certain clips. It's funny. It is hilarious. They've gone to America. They're broadening their horizons. They're expanding their network, which is fantastic. We like to see it. They've gone into Flagrant 2, which is again one of the biggest podcasts in the world, if not just in America, definitely in that comedian space. One of the funniest comedians out at the moment, Andrew Schultz, who has grown up and has been heavily influenced by the quote unquote black urban culture. Like this is a kid where the one of his best friends is black. The other person on the podcast is Asian. There's got Jewish people, Pakistani people on the podcast. There might be more people of other races than there is white people on the whole podcast. Like he's one of his closest mates is Charlemagne. Um, but he's a comedian, so he just makes fun at stuff. Now, what's happened is they were talking about girls and whatever Ross preferences. Da, 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 da. He's seen an opportunity to make a joke, which is playing on a stereotype. The reason it's a stereotype, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. In a weird way, I think the reaction from the quote unquote community. Now, when you see, anytime you ever hear me go the black community or quote unquote black community or the community or the urban community, it's because colloquially, people want us to be, well, people want other people to believe that the black people are just one thing. So black people all agree on everything. They're just one thing. So they say the black community, and they use it to belittle you, to make you feel smaller, to shut you up on certain things as well, because they don't want you to have an opinion which can detract or take away from what they're trying to sell you and try to tell you as a black person. Now, anytime I refer to myself as a black person, I'm lowercase b black. It's a descriptor. If you used to ask, like, being black is not my identity. It's how you describe me. If you was to try to describe me, yeah, he's a black guy that wears glasses and he smiles alright. Like, that's all it is. That's all it is. Literally, I'm black because my parents were black and we're from Zimbabwe. We was born in Africa. There's a lot of sun. There's dark skin. Dark skin runs in my DNA, runs in my blood. It's not an identity for me. It's a descriptor. Now, when I now say the capital letter B black, these are now your Uma Johnsons, your these people that I think they've got a bit of an identity crisis. I do feel sorry for them, who being black is their identity because maybe they don't know where they're actually from. Maybe they have to guess. Oh yeah, that because when people think Africa, they're really talking about Nigeria and Ghana. Obviously, I'm a piano recently has put South Africa on the map, and I'm enjoying that. Even though I can't dance, I'm enjoying it. So those capital B blacks, these are the people that think like this because their identity is being black. So it's like if anyone makes a joke that offends black people, or not even offends, where black people are the butt of the joke, you've now just completely offended their whole identity and what they've built their life on. We get taught this in school. That we get taught this in school because I still get emotional about it sometimes when I hear someone. It's like the N word. Like, I think either we should all be allowed to say it or no one should be allowed to say it. This whole, oh yeah, we've adopted it as a term of endearment. I'm not buying that for 1 second. I'm not buying that at all. Either we can all say it or no one can say it. I think it's that simple. Um, but if I do, even when I see a white person using the N word, they could be acting or they could be singing a song. My immediate reaction is, what? You're not meant to say that. Then I have to go, actually, they can say it. I don't care. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't impact me. It's cool. That's it's a word. It's got no power over me. Now, if you say it to me, the disrespect is what I would then take issue with, and then it's whatever. But um, yeah. So when James and Fu have been on this pod. Now, what I don't like, because I've just given them a lot of credit as to what I do like about what they're doing. What I don't like, number one, you never, ever, ever, wait, never, ever apologize to the mob. You do not apologize to the mob. You don't apologize to the mob. That you actually don't do it. You see, if you see the mob, you don't apologize because they're gonna come for you anyway. Don't apologize to the mob. That's what they did. First mistake. Second mistake. I feel like they crumbled under pressure because they copped out. They started going, "Oh, we felt uncomfortable. Oh, it wasn't really that funny. Oh, the whatever, cool." And I'm like, guys, guys, let's be honest now. Like, if I know they'll never watch this because why would they be watching this? But if one day there ever came a situation where they saw this, they'll be laughing right now. When I say guys, they'll be laughing because they know. We both know what we know, and we know what we don't know. And what we don't know is there was no way that there was no way they felt uncomfortable and offended by that. Like, that's my opinion. Again, I'm not their feelings, so I can't tell you how they're feeling. But my opinion is there's no way they felt uncomfortable or offended by that. It was just a cop out. They're thinking, oh snap, that are we gonna lose our careers? Basically. Now, I think people need to go watch Andrew Schultz's reaction to the apology because that's kind of funny. And he done the right thing. He didn't apologize for nothing. In fact, he doubled down on certain things. And I guess one of the things that I wanted to address is when I'd love to have a conversation with someone about this as well is that why is it that like we try to create this aura around certain topics that they can't be talked about. Like people make jokes about men all the time. People make jokes about white people all the time. You see all these people that I've seen get offended. I know they've made jokes, racist jokes about white people. I know it. They've made racist jokes about white people. Like in school, like when I was in school, like you see what was it James or Fuhad? One of them said they went through it, like because obviously I've not been taught to discriminate. So if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. So, but yeah, there was black girls in my school that used to go, "Oh, Sheps, what you think white girls are pretty as well? You like white girls? Oh, you hate yourself? Da 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 da. You're a traitor. All of that stuff. Why is that okay? Why is that okay?" Now, I'm not saying because they said that to me. Now I need to be anti my sisters, like because I got sisters that are black. My mom's black. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not. I'm not saying that, but why is it that we, as black people, we've got these topics that are non-starters, but only when it suits us? Because Lord knows, have you seen black men talking about black women in the circles? Have you seen black women talking about black men in their circles? Because I've seen both. I've seen both. Uh, and none of it is what Andrew said was probably more polite than what I've heard. Like in those circles, it's okay. Why is that okay? Is my question. And why do we still care? Like, why do we get offended? Because I was saying this to my friend um the other day, and I went, actually, I just realized that because she started going about like, oh, black men don't defend black women, but we always defend black men. No, you don't. But we always defend black men. Da, da, da. She's saying that. Not she don't. Her voice is not that deep. Very beautiful girl. None of that. This is just in my head. I'm trying to explain it. Now, halfway through listening to it, I was about to respond back on the same, the all of that stuff, like Morse code. Then I went, why do I care? I know I don't disrespect black women. I know that beautiful is beautiful. My mum taught me. She's like, yo, she don't care. My dad, he don't care. My dad's never told me come back with a black girl. My mum's never told me come back with a black girl, white girl, whatever girl. It's just, are you happy? Does it tick your non-negotiables? That's it. We're gonna have to non-negotiables. Write this down. Someone in the comments write down non-negotiables because we're gonna have to. I'm tired. I am tired. I am tired of seeing these relationships that are doomed now. Yeah, I could be tired because I'm single in it, so I could be tired of a lot of things. But we need to talk about non-negotiables. This is a conversation we need to have. That I'm gonna write that down actually. Let me actually write that down. Next episode. Nah, this won't be on the next episode, but it's just ideas, non-negotiables. Alright, cool. And do you know what I would do actually is I might actually talk through this with one of my friends. Like, we'll see, we'll sort it out anyway. But what am I saying? Yeah, why is it? Why do we get offended? Like, why do I? I was hearing what she was saying, and I was going, you know what? I guess, but I know I don't mistreat black women. I know I'm calm. Like, so when you're now saying black men don't defend black women, why am I getting offended? Because my black is just descriptor. It's not my identity. You would not be friends with me if you knew that I was mistreating women. So cool. So I'm waiting for that response on her version and her side of things, which is calm. That but obviously people work, people are busy. But you see, for me, like that's another question I need to ask you guys. Like, why is it we get offended by stuff like that? Like, why is it that? Because for me, I think it's dangerous. Like, you see, when we've got certain issues and certain topics that we say no one can talk about, to me, I think that's dangerous. Personally, I think that's dangerous. I think you should be allowed to talk about anything that you haven't got the right to not be offended. You haven't got the right to not be offended, but you do have the right to be offended. Like you, so let Andrew make the jokes. If you do not think it's funny, guess what you do? That's it. If you think it's funny, show teeth, laugh, and that's it. Like it's a comedian. It made a joke. Some jokes are not funny to some people. Some jokes are funny to some people. But this whole apology thing, I think that's where they lost me. You see, then that's when I said I'm going to talk about it because I think that's where they lost me. They made some errors. You apologize to the mob. The cop out, because I know I can look at them and I know you might ask me, Sheps, how do you know what's in their heart? I know because we're all like, I know that they didn't find that offensive. They're just trying to save face. But you see, now you've done it. It's like, do you know what it is? It's like, you see, when you got a bully and your bully goes, yo, let me hold a pound. Because I used to be the one back in the day. Yo, let me hold a pound. You did it the once, but just this once. You know what you've just told them? Yeah, the bank is open. So tomorrow, yo, let me hold a pound. Yo, do that for 2, 3. Yo, you're paying for men's driving lessons. And then it goes, oh, let me hold £2. And if you ever make the mistake of pulling out a wad of coins, that pound is going to turn into £5.50 real quick. That used to be the one back in the day. I don't know who done it. I just saw it. Like, I just been told about it. But that's basically what Shits and Gigs have done. They've told the bully, yo, like, we've got a wad of cash. Next time they're gonna go, what? Yeah, because you see these things, they will never forgive you for them. Like, you see all these apologies, they get that people already saying they don't even care, and you already had people that were waiting on their downfall. Some people just don't like them because they don't like them. So why would you try to placate to people that don't care about you anyway? But that's just my feelings on it. Now, I think as the capital B Black community, why is it we've got certain topics like? Because if that was Dave Chappelle that made those jokes, none of this is happening. Like, why is it that the capital B Black women? Because I know not all Black women are like this. Like, why is it that it's okay for you to criticize Black men? It's okay for you to talk about whatever else you want to talk about. I'm probably gonna get cancelled for this. I don't care. You can't cancel me. I've got no money anyway. So what are you gonna cancel? My YouTube? But yeah, no, you can't cancel it. Like, get deported. How about that? Get me deported. I'll go back to Zip. I need a plane ticket. Um, Now, why is it that it's okay for them to say, "Oh yeah, Black men are this, da da da," but no one can make a joke about? Do you get what I'm saying? And do you know what happens? People just leave you. Like, if you think about this, you see just that one friend. Everyone think about this, and I know you know this person. There's that one person you don't even bother with. If they start arguing, you just go, "It is what." Okay, mate. Whatever you say. If they say they're going left, and you know there's a cliff, you just go, "Okay, mate. Whatever you say," because it's not worth the argument. This is what the capital B Black community and the capital B Black women community, this is what it will become. People will just go, you know what, you let's go do your thing over there. We don't want the headache. And then you're gonna go, oh, why are you leaving us out? Anyone got answers to that? I'll be more than happy to hear it. But no, I've got a lot on my chest. I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot lighter. I appreciate you if you tuned in till the end. Um, I think my link tree should be on wherever you're watching this. My link tree should be there or thereabouts. Follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna do some plugs anyway, because why not? I might as well. So the Twitter, where is it? Is it even showing? So the Faceless Podcast on Twitter. So it's at the Faceless P0D. Now we've got no followers because I just created this Twitter. Follow that. Now I've got my personal Twitter, but if you know that, you know that. If you don't know it, you don't know it. But then there's the other Twitter, which is the official personal Twitter. Let me see what that one is. Let me just have a look at that. Because me, I need to be plugging this because people need to know where to find me. What's the other one? So the other one, yeah, people are gonna know my government name. It is what it is. Because the government already knows it, so you might as well know it as well. You know. Yeah, the other one is at Shep Quenda. At SHEPKWENDA. No followers on that one. Now the personal one, if you find it, you find it. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. That's where it's wild. And then the Instagram, Facebook, all of mate, all of that stuff. Like, just follow it. Just follow it. Like, just there if you want to follow it. And what I'm gonna say now is that I appreciate the people that are gonna like and share it. Um, there's no pressure on it. Like, I've had a good time, even though I was talking to myself. I've had a good time. If you don't want to listen to it, it's fine. If you do, it's fine. Thank you again for listening to the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Call me whatever you like. As long as it's not I, we'll probably get along. See you soon.